How many of your friends haven't been as lucky as you?
10.
They're all dead?
Yeah.
For decades, this dark secret has been overlooked and even denied by some Canadians. But in the Indigenous communities, which make up under 5% of the country's population, it's causing outrage. Many Indigenous women work the streets here in the sex trade. This makes them incredibly vulnerable.
So we're down 118 Ave here. The girls will call 118 Ave and 95 Street death row, because a majority of all the girls that have gone missing or been found murdered all worked in this area.
For 20 years, Indigenous social worker Carrie Thomason has provided support and rehabilitation for Edmonton's highest risk sex workers.
Okay, stay safe, honey.
Carrie has over 900 girls logged in her database, many of whom are homeless and addicted to meth or heroin.
How many of these girls are Indigenous that are out on the streets?
90% are our own people out here.
90?
It's a high percentage.
Yeah.
Carrie's known some of the girls since they were young. We stop and speak to an Indigenous woman called T, who's 3 months pregnant.
What age are you, T?
30.
30, yeah.
T got pimped into sex work by her own mother when she was still a child.
How long have you been working on the streets?
I'd say 10 years old.
10 years old?
Yeah.
So this is all you've ever known?
Yeah.
What's it like?
It's scary, lonely, horrible.
What's gone on there?
Mom was an active addict, and you need that fix, and sometimes you do some god-awful evil things, and sometimes you sacrifice your child for the dope.
Time and again, these women's high-risk lifestyles are caused by the people who first exploited them.
Shelley, do you mind me asking you why you're out on the streets working?
Well, sexual abuse since I was 8 till I was 13. I started working here when I was 18 years old. I was put on the street by my boyfriend at the time. He stuck a needle in my arm, and that's how it went. So it was a snowball effect, and if I didn't get abused from him, I got abused by the drug dealers. If I didn't get abused by the drug dealers, I was getting abused by my family.
In the last year alone, 3 of Carrie's girls have been murdered. Shelley herself has had a close call.
Have you ever had a bad date?
Yes.
Tell me a bit about that.
These 2 guys picked me up, and they raped me for a couple of hours, and then they left me for dead. So I ran down to the highway, and I flagged down the car, because I was naked, I had no clothes on. They took everything, and the cops came, they took me home.
That must be such a wake-up call, Shelley.
It was until you're dope sick, you have nowhere to live, and so you say, well, you know what, I can make some money, get a room, and go to bed.
How many of your friends haven't been as lucky as you?
10.
They're all dead?
Yeah. One of them's my sister.
For me tonight has just been a complete eye-opener from start to finish. You know, you hear the statistics and you're fairly familiar in terms of what's going on. But then you're out on the streets with these girls, and the sheer desperation and pure hopelessness is just so apparent. These girls are up against it, often from the very start. And they're being exploited from so many different angles.
Since 1980, the police say almost 1,200 Indigenous women have gone missing or been murdered right across Canada. But other organisations estimate it to be as high as 4,000.
Those touched by this national tragedy have waited long enough.
Since Prime Minister Justin Trudeau came to power in 2015, his new government have launched an official $50 million inquiry into finding answers for the victims' families.